We're going to do a short introduction to the Aruba demo kit, and then we'll get into the actual demonstrations. This presentation is to introduce you to the concepts and contents of the kit. The guiding principle for this demo kit is really ease of use for partners. We want you to be able to take the kit out and present it without having to do any real configuration. We've hit most of the high points of our differentiators, and we'll go over which test cases we're using later on. There's extensive documentation which you should read, and you should really go through and practice these steps later. On a regular basis on the Aruba support site at support.arubanetworks.com, you'll get configuration, documentation, updates, as well as additional demonstrations you can perform. The kit's really designed to help you go from a presentation directly to a sale, and you should be delivering this within the first meeting or two with a potential client. The ideal way to deliver this is to really take your pitch, and when you explain something, stop and then demonstrate it. We found that it works better that way because after you talk about it, the customer can immediately see it happen and it sticks in their mind. And the entire kit builds up to the point from where we just have wireless working to a point where we've got video and mesh working and voice calls being made across this demo network. You should really point out the size of the kit as well, which we'll look at in a minute. We're doing this with very little gear, and challenge your client to have your competitors come in and do the same demonstration in a conference room as quickly as we do it in this kit. The main demonstrations, we have RF management. We're doing RF plan and RF live, which are our heat maps, and showing how ARM works. We do wireless security by plugging in a rogue AP and detecting it and containing it. We show user-centric networks by having the same user on the same laptop log in with multiple credentials in multiple different ways, showing how their role changes and how as a guest they'll be automatically blacklisted for violating policy. We show application awareness by showing voice and video running over our Wi-Fi mesh. And we have remote access. If you happen to have a remote access point, you should definitely bring it with you and show how that functionality works. There's multiple sets of documentation. There's a demonstration guide, and that goes through start to finish, one way to present the kit. We have PowerPoints with speaker notes with ready-made pitches for sales pitches. There's a video capture, which you'll see more of in the next videos. This is essentially video training for this kit. And we've got an alternate set done by one of our SEs of how he's modified the kit to match the pitch he wants to deliver. This is just a quick quote from the person you'll see, Mike Landry, delivering the second video pitch. What he's basically gone through and done is got to the point where his customers don't need a proof of concept. They no longer want bake-offs. He comes in, he shows them what he's got to offer and how quickly he can set up the demo and how much he can show them. And he's moving directly from that demonstration to a purchase request. Now there's two demonstration kits. We're mostly going to look at demo kit B, but for reference, demo kit A is an A200 controller, a mesh portal, and a mesh point. The demo kit B is much more extensive. It includes a rogue AP, it includes a Netgear switch with PoE, an extra access point, 2 cameras, and 2 phones. When the entire kit is set up, you'll be able to show video running on the network, you'll be able to show voice calls and let the customers do a voice call. You'll contain that rogue AP that's down there, and you'll show the client PC moving through various roles. All of this comes packaged in a case with a logo on it. It's got wheels and an extendable handle, which makes it easy to pull behind you. When you open the case up, you'll find laser cut sections for each piece of equipment. Now when you unpack the kit, it does look like a lot of parts, which is why I recommend you practice this a few times. There isn't really that much to it once you understand how it all goes together, but knowing how it goes together is part of succeeding. Setting up on the table, generally we don't want to see a lot of wires hanging all over the table, so we'll end up with the controller and the switch on the floor. In this case, the rogue AP comes up, the air monitor, your mesh portal, and the wireless camera. At the other end of the table is the mesh point and the wired camera. That camera is wired into the AP and wirelessly backhauled. And then down on the case we'll generally keep the controller and the neck gear switch. You may want to move the controller onto the table just so that you can continuously point out that everything they see happening is because of this little box, and this is especially compelling when a competitor comes in with a whole rack of equipment. Thank you for your time. Please watch the other videos to understand how the kit actually functions and take a look at the demonstrations.